Hello everyone, it's Gus from Askewed Reviews. And since it's Saturday, it's a new episode of Cinema Society Saturday. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's where a group of us horror content creators have all come together as a group. We are then randomly given a theme each week. We then partner up, give our partner a movie that fits within the theme, and then we review those films for all of you. This week's theme, if you couldn't figure it out from the intro, are movies that are totally awesome, bodacious, and hopefully not grody to the max. That's right, all of these films are from the 1980s. Now, my partner for this week also happens to be my partner in crime when it comes to Cinema Society Saturday, as she and I are two of the heads of this actual community. That's right, I'm talking about Jenn, also known as T-Shirt Junkie. If you're not already following her, definitely go and do so. Let's see if we can get her up to 5,000 followers as quickly as possible. Now, for this week's theme, Jenn gave me the film of Watchers, the 1988 film directed by John Hess, and it is based on the book by Dean Koontz. Now, when it comes to 80s horror films, I've seen so many of them because that's my favorite decade when it comes to horror movies. So thank you so much, Jenn, for giving me a movie I had not seen before from the 80s. So let me tell you about the concept for this film to see if it's something that you want to check out. So this movie stars Corey Haim as our main character of Travis. Now, Travis has just recently snuck out to go visit his girlfriend Tracy on the farm that she lives on. Now, just as the two of them are about to have some alone time, a noise is heard, and it ends up being Tracy's father. Luckily, Travis manages to escape before he finds him. Now, it's at this point where both of these two characters have very different evenings. First of all, let's start with Travis. He manages to sneak out to his truck and drive off, and then on his way home, a dog has managed to sneak into the back of his pickup. At first, he attempts to get rid of the animal because, it's not his dog. Then we pop back over to Tracy, who is taking care of the horses right before she has to go to bed. That's when she hears another noise, and this ends up being some sort of monstrous creature that's in the barn. She manages to get out of the way, but it does manage to savagely attack her father. So now what in the world do this dog and this creature have in common? Well, both of them are experiments from a facility that just recently went down in flames, and the two of these creatures have now escaped. Now, the dog that Travis has lovingly given the name of Furface to actually seems to have very high intelligence, so much so that it can understand human speech. Then we have the creature, which is that thing up there. Now, I won't really describe it because I'll leave that up to you to see it for yourselves, but due to the outline, you probably have a base idea of what this looks like. Now, the creature is named Oxcom, which stands for Outside Experimental Combat Mammal. First of all, I hate it when they don't use all of the letters of something when it comes to that. Now, the Oxcom is apparently the ultimate predator, as it can pretty much just massacre anything. Now, the weird relationship that these two creatures have to each other is that the dog was designed to covertly go places, and then the Oxcom would try to hunt down the dog, sort of, and then it would attack whatever is around there. But the issue here is it just wants to attack the dog and anything around it. Now, the Oxcom is not the only issue that Travis and Furface are dealing with, as the secret government organization that has created these creatures is now coming after them as well, and they don't appear to have issues with casualties. So can Travis, his mom Nora, and Furface, along with a very inept police department, manage to stop this creature and these agents, which are named Lem and Cliff? Yeah, I don't know why they went with those names. Just watching this movie, you can absolutely tell it's an 80s film. It just has that vibe, feel, and look to it. Here's something, by the way, that just blew my mind. There are actually three sequels to this film. Not only had I not heard about this movie, I didn't hear about this franchise apparently before. Well, at some point, I'm going to have to check out the other ones. But now, getting back to this film. So, I will say when it comes to this movie, it was fun, it was a bit entertaining. It wasn't that great, though. Like some of the story was definitely confusing. There's a twist that comes in near the end, which I thought was just terrible, like just absolutely horrible. But it's a fun movie to check out. Not one I particularly enjoyed all that much, but it's still fun. They also do have Michael Ironside as one of the main villains in this, which, whether or not he's doing a good or a bad job, I do enjoy watching him. He's a fun actor to watch. Oh, also, there's a very brief cameo, well, semi-brief cameo from a young Jason Priestley in this. So at least for me on my scale, I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5. I do still recommend checking it out because you may end up enjoying it more than I did. And if you want to, it's currently streaming for free on Prime, Tubi, and Plex. Once again, thank you, Jen, for suggesting this one because I don't know if I ever would have watched this movie. And the fact that I really do like 80s horror, I'm so glad I'm able to check this one off my list. Although, like I said, now I have to check out the other 3 sequels. And once more, I am going to mention if you're not already following Jen, definitely go and do so. She has some really great reviews, some really fun content. I also do Creature Madness with her, so check out some of those videos as well. I hope you enjoyed my review for Watchers. And if you'd like to see what everyone else in Cinema Society Saturday did for their 80s reviews, just look up the hashtag Cinema Society Saturday.